What is the ideal weight for a professional cricketer, and how does it relate to us as amateurs trying to play the game and improve performance? By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you our formula for calculating ideal performance weights for cricket for both men and women, and show you how you can use it to help you improve your game. Hi, I'm James Breese, and welcome to Blackboard Friday, our weekly show where we share our systems and frameworks to help you become a better cricketer. And this week is going to be controversial. There's no getting away from it. When we talk about weight, if we talk about BMI, it sparks debate. So let's just get straight into it and explain why we ask these questions when it comes to performance. Because success leaves clues. If we look at all the sports around the world at the very highest level, the very top professional level, they all look a certain way. They're all a certain height. They're all a very similar weight to height ratio, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And cricket is going that way. Cricket is becoming a much more athletic, performance-driven sport. So the first two questions I ask somebody when they come to see me is, what is their height and what is their weight? So height is the first thing I ask, and weight. How much do they weigh? Because this creates the formula for what I'm trying to work with. So the formula is this. I want to know their height in centimeters and their weight in kilograms. Because what I then do, I take that height and then minus 105 for men or minus 107 for women. Because that gives me an ideal performance weight based on all the research we have available to us. Now, there's a lot more research for men. In the world of women, there is a lot more research around professional football and other sports, so we can take them as a good starting and framework to encourage more discussion. But this is the framework I ask because success leaves clues, right? This is what you see in Premier League footballer status. And from what we're seeing in the world of cricket, it's following a very similar model. Now, for those who are amateur or try and come up through the ranks, you may think, oh, this is mental, I'm never going to be this. So let's see this in a working formula. So I am 173 centimeters tall. So I'm 173, and I need to minus 105, which gives me 68 kilos, which is my ideal performance weight, right? Some of you may be thinking, there's no way I'm going to get there. And that's okay. Most of you thinking that are not professional athletes, but the reality is, this is what it comes to. Now, you see the same for women. If I was 173 centimeters tall, I'd minus 107, which would then give me 66 kilos. I have to do some quick math then, very quickly. But the point is, this is what we're looking at. This is the first question I ask for, because if someone wants to come to me, I got to look at them from a bigger, wider perspective. I got to work on them clinically. Can they move well biomechanically? Are they good, and fit, and healthy, and fast, and speedy, and strong, and all that stuff? And are they good technically? If we're overweight, it's going to affect everything. It's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your mental clarity. It's going to affect your performance. And it's going to affect your technique as well, like it or not. That gigantic beer gut you're batting with is going to get in the way and change your bat path if you're trying to move properly and trying to score more runs. So I need to know this, because this may be the conversation we've got to have a word with. So if you want to break through to a much higher level, we have to understand this, because that's what it takes. That's the level of dedication. That's the level of commitment and fitness it now requires. Look at the IPL at the moment. Look at the athleticism in so many of those fielders. The game is changing far beyond recognition. The women's game is changing too, and it's getting faster and faster and faster and better, in my opinion, and the standards are going up, right? They've got a lot of catching up to do, the women, in terms of athleticism, but they're young in terms of their professionalism, and it's going to get there quickly. Unfortunately, they're just under more spotlight. They haven't got the same amount of time the men had to go through it, because social media is everywhere and they're getting a bit more brutalized. Think of the England women's team just over a year ago. So I take this formula. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be exactly this. So if I look at this and I take this formula, height minus 105 for men, minus 107 for women, gives you an ideal starting framework. Now, what I'm looking for then, if I change this up, is I'm looking for a difference of plus or minus 3 kilos. So height minus weight minus 105 or 107, and then we're looking plus or minus 3 kilos. That's what I'm looking at, because there are going to be some discrepancies going on. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of this, plus or minus. Anything over that, well, I'm slightly concerned in terms of their performance. You know, dropping a couple of kilos could make a massive difference for so many things. But if they are considerably over or under, that becomes a significant health issue, and health comes first here at Cricket Matters. That is non-negotiable. We need to be in good health, because better athletes are healthier athletes, right? That's our motto from top to bottom. So plus or minus 3 kilos if you want to look at performance weight. And you can do this, right? Look in the anthropological data of professional footballers. You'll see something similar. You'll see other systems and patterns emerge as well when you look at the data and the raw numbers. Do you know what the scary thing is though? If you look at the Tour de France, this number is height minus 112. Yep, you heard me. Height minus 112. The average weight to height ratio in the Tour de France, even get on that circuit, is minus 112. So look at my example, 173. If I minus 112, I'm looking at 61 kilos. I currently weigh 71 kilos. So technically I'm just in and around the threshold. I'd like to drop another couple of kilos ready for cricket season, because I know I feel better doing that. But minus 112 for the Tour de France. So when everyone comes to me and asks me to get better on their bike to become a better cyclist, I say, how high are you? How tall are you? How much do you weigh? Oh, you're 173 and you weigh 91 kilos. That's 30 kilos away from what the top athletes become. Simple. Drop 20 kilos. Don't drop 30, maybe drop 5, right? And you'll see a massive improvement. A new bike won't fix it, right? Just like a new bat won't fix it half the time, but we all want to buy new bats or golf clubs because we're just humans and we like doing that, right? But the point is, we've got to have this conversation. I encourage all the science research boffins to look at me, because this is based on similar formulas that are out there from the 1871s to a few other bits, you know, to more recent 83, which is the year after I was born, actually. The divine formula, I think, is closest to what we're doing. But I look at numbers, I look at data. I like doing this because I'm a massive geek. And I saw this pattern emerge across the sports, but looking at cricket, it's around this. So for me, when I'm looking at an athlete in terms of S&C, if they're out of pain and they want to improve their technique alongside their performance, I need to establish, are they a weight loss client? Because it's irrelevant what exercises you're doing if we're overweight, because it slows us down, it hinders what we're trying to do, and it can also alter your mechanics to change your technique. Now, have a play with it. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do your height in centimeters, figure out what your weight is in kilos is, and what do you see? Have you noticed that your technique is a bit off at the moment? Have you noticed you put on a few kilos? What's happening? But it's a conversation I want to start encouraging people to have. It's not body shaming. It's not fat shaming in any shape or form. It's merely pointing out what the elite do. Where are the elite? Where are the elite in terms of their fitness, in terms of their weight? Because success leaves clues. If you want to get to the highest level, you've got to look at what all the athletes in your arena and domain are doing. And in cricket, height minus 105 for men and minus 107 for women. That's a very good starting point, because cricket is changing fast. So any up and coming professional needs to think about these terms, give or take 3 kilos. And if you're well outside of it, well, that's okay too if you'd like to be that, but just know it's not where we're going to improve performance. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, a bit more controversial. I'm sure there's lots of people debating and analysing it, but it's a framework that we use to very quickly analyse what we need to do with that client, or maybe start that conversation with him. Right, so if you like this video, please like it. There'll probably be a lot of dislikes to this video, so please don't dislike it. Either or, drop a comment down below. Thank you for joining us on Blackboard Friday, and we'll see you next time for another episode. Thank you. Oh yeah, and review and subscribe. Thank you.